listeners. Welcome to Plano's Political Pitbull podcast. I am Esther.
And I'm Ruth.
And we welcome back Ruth today.
I'm back, yay.
And today's show is about chicken coops, surveys, and raising canes. So first, we're going to talk about a survey that was done to find out what Legacy Granite Park properties and businesses need. So this is a survey done by the city. They contracted out to a private firm, probably for lots and lots of money. And the firm found out a few things. So some of the findings were that Legacy is still a premier location. That is Legacy and Granite Park. That whole area where there are lots and lots of office buildings. So some businesses want to downsize their office footprint. So there's a high vacancy and low demand. Workers are liking the home/office hybrid, working from home. They got a taste of that during COVID and they don't want to give it up. So the current office model is pretty much out of date. Traffic is a big problem on Legacy Drive, headquarters, and Dallas North Tollway. No surprise. And the folks said they want a large conference center. Apparently, they don't know that we already have that. It's called the Plano Event Center. Somebody please tell them. They want more hotel options. Workers would like to be in close proximity to work from home. Now, they didn't exactly mention what exactly the proximity is. Does that mean it's a 5-minute drive? Is it supposed to be walkable? Are you supposed to be right next door? Me personally, I wouldn't want to live right next door to where I work. I want kind of like when I'm home, I want to have my space. I don't want to have to look outside my window and see my office building. But that's just me. They want more walkable areas from office to, let's say, restaurants. Now, Granite Park, if you've ever been there, has that. It has the restaurants, it has the retail, it's got the huge Ferris wheel, if you'd like to go on it. Legacy, the actual street where a lot of the offices and headquarters are, don't have that, but since it's 100 degrees out this week, nobody's walking anywhere.
Nobody's going outside.
No. The only outside is from the house to the car, or from the office to the car, or from the store to the car. Okay? You're about outside for 5 minutes, and that's all you could take.
We're only passing through. We're not stopping.
Yeah, there's no stopping. So my thinking was it would be great if these office buildings would have like a cafeteria, or, the hotels, they have restaurants in them. Maybe have a building where you have your offices and a restaurant, so that during, work, they don't have to, if they want something to eat and they don't want to brown bag it from home, which is a lot more economical, they can get something right inside the building. The other option is, of course, food trucks. There are lots of areas around these places in the parking lots where food trucks can go. And you could stand out there for only 5 minutes and get your lunch, and then go back inside because it's too hot to eat outside. The other thing that was found was they want to encourage property owners to update or redevelop, improve economic development incentives, and basically, economic development funds. And that brings us to raising canes, part of our show. So on August 12th, the City Council voted to give Raising Cane's Restaurants LLC $6,168,145. And in exchange for all that money, Cane's agreed to purchase and occupy 394,405 square feet of office space at 5,320 Legacy Drive in Plano, that area that had just done that survey.
Why are we essentially doing like business deals with government?
Good question. But there's more to this deal. So, Raising Cane's also has to make property improvements with a minimum value of $20 million. And transfer, retain, or create up to 1,020 full-time jobs by January 31st, 2035. So they have 11 years to do this. So this is not going to be right away. This building is right in the area where, as I just said, they just got a survey done that said that offices are outdated and people want more of a walkable area. Well, there's not much there for walking. Okay, there is some open space there, beautiful greenery, but no restaurants, no apartments, thank God. Now, to your question, why are we doing this? I ask myself that all the time. Because as we've talked about before, and as I have explained before, it's fascism. It is economic fascism or corporatism. Okay? Raising Cane's is currently at 6800 Bishop Road in Plano. So the residents of Plano are forking over $6+ million for a company to literally move down the street. Want to guess how much Raising Cane's is earned last year?
I don't know. A lot.
A lot. $3.3 billion was what they brought in sales. Basically, they sell chicken. Yeah. Fried chicken.
And they had no profit left over to do the move themselves?
Oh, no. They had profit. I mean, $3.3 billion in sales? That's a lot of chicken. They had profit.
Well, I said like enough profit.
Oh, well, just waiting to find out what the owner's worth.
Okay.
So it is expected that they will earn $10 billion in annual sales by the end of the decade, so 2029. Okay? And the founder and owner is worth $7.6 billion.
Wow.
He could have wrote a frickin' check out, okay? Or sold a yacht and had money left over, okay? $7.6 billion. I wouldn't even know what to do with that kind of money. I really wouldn't. $7.6 billion, and our politicians gave what amounts to 1 cent of our tax rate to somebody who clearly doesn't need it. While residents are struggling to buy eggs and milk, our politicians are giving millions to billionaires.
Which doesn't make any sense because they pay the taxes in the city. So part of those taxes are their money.
Yes. Yes. Well, now,
everyone's always like, you don't really care about the money that's not yours, But in this case, I mean, Some of it is.
Yeah. So they're getting a return on their investment, I guess. So one of the things that is always said is that, well, we're going to be getting a building that's worth $20 million on the tax rolls, and that's a lot of property tax money. And it is. Definitely cannot argue with that. But we're not getting it until 2035. 11 years from now. And we are struggling now. There is a hiring freeze. The employees aren't getting a raise this year for the first time in probably a decade. They will not be getting a raise. They'll be getting a $1,000 bonus. There is a budget crisis happening in Plano. And they are handing over $6 million to somebody who clearly does not need it. The business takes in billions and billions of dollars. Why in the world would they think, yeah, let's do that? Let's do that. I mean, it just makes my blood boil. Because instead of giving $6 million plus to Raising Cane's, okay, they could use $6 million of that to lower our taxes, okay? They could also, instead of putting $8.5 million into the Economic Development Fund, which already has $43 million in it. Okay, they have budgeted $8.5 million to go into the Economic Development Fund.
Why are government budgets always like something million, something billion dollars? Why is it always so much? What are they paying for? That's so expensive.
Oh, just you wait, it gets worse. Golden toilets, I don't know, a very expensive hammer. There have been some crazy things.
Their tools laced with gold.
Shrimp running on a treadmill.
Oh, you're not going to let that go.
No, I will not let that one go. Federal government spent millions to study shrimp running on a treadmill.
I'm sure they've done dumber things.
I can't really. Well, actually, there is one. They gave money for somebody to study pigs passing gas.
Sorry, that's just funny.
Or was it cows?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I think it was
livestock.
It was some kind of livestock. I thought it was, my memory says it was pigs.
Well, now it will be cows because we're all about the farting cows right now.
Poor cows. Anyway, so instead of taking $8.5 million, how about we take $6 million and lower our taxes by 1 cent, okay? So that it lowers the cost of housing, all right? And people will actually be able to afford rent and housing.
That's an idea.
Mm-hmm. And then they can give another $1 million to give the employees a raise and another $1 million for the rainy day fund. And they will have $500,000 left over if they want to put it in Economic Development Fund. But no, I don't know if they're going to do that. Maybe somebody can say, try this. I honestly...
And then they'll say, yeah, no.
I'd like to think that if enough people went up there and actually gave that idea, perhaps they would rethink it, maybe try it.
When was the last time the council ever actually listened to the people?
I don't know.
There goes my point.
I can think of it. Surely. Probably the last time off the top of my head that I can think of is the first Plano Tomorrow plan, which was a mitigated disaster. Of course, they had to go through a lawsuit before they actually overturned it. So, I don't know. Does that count?
I don't know if that actually counts.
I don't think that counts. No. Well, nevertheless, I don't understand why residents are not up in arms on this. It is just a total waste of money. And speaking of a total waste of money, here's something else for you to get your blood going. So before the show, I asked Ruth how much she thought a chicken coop would cost. And she looked up chicken coops. And what did you find, Ruth?
Well, I found a lovely range of prices that you could get your cheap $100, or if it's on sale, $79 chicken coop, which it's not going to be that big. It's going to be quite small. Or you can go all the way up to your expensive, ultra premium mansion chicken coop that's like $17,000 if you really want to be...
That's for a very large farm. That is for a farm that has a lot of chickens, okay?
Yeah.
Well, the City of Plano has 3 chickens, so they don't need that big of a chicken coop.
Okay.
We only have 3 right now.
I'd say your average like Amazon, Walmart chicken coop is going to be maybe a few $100s, couple hundred, like maybe like I'll average it out to 300.
300, that's good, okay. Well, our city was going to spend $50,000 to build a chicken coop for 3 chickens that are currently at the Plano Animal Shelter in dog and cat kennels.
Wait, say that again.
$50,000 for a chicken coop.
That's more expensive than the most expensive chicken coop I found.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll ever get that many chickens in Plano Shelter. And by the way, they have already spent $12,600 to do a revised site plan. They did a site plan for a chicken coop.
You know, this goes back to my previous comment of why is government spending, whenever they spend money to do anything, it's always like millions, billions of dollars, thousands of dollars, when a private agent would spend half of that.
I do not think a farmer who does chickens goes, okay, I need a chicken coop. I'm getting more hens. So I need a chicken coop. I'm going to have somebody come in and do a site plan for my chicken coop on my farm. Oh, and here's even better. The city was going to have a licensed architect design the chicken coop.
How fancy is this chicken coop going to be?
Why do you need an architect to design a chicken coop?
How fancy are these chickens?
These are chickens that got out of a person's yard, okay? And got lost somewhere.
Why does the city need to pay for a licensed architect to build these specific chickens, these specifically lost chickens, 3 of them, a what I'm imagining is a mansion-sized chicken coop, bigger than anything you could ever imagine.
I don't think it's going to be a mansion-sized chicken coop.
Where is all the money going?
Okay.
How much supplies do you need that warrants $50,000?
Well, that was Bill Lyle's question when he zoomed in during comments of public interest and brought this to the council. And also, Councilman Riccadelli brought this up because he wanted to know from the engineer department why they had to spend money to do a site plan for a chicken coop.
Just get your average chicken coop at a store. They have them at Home Depot.
Yes, so Bill Lyle said that they could buy a already made chicken coop from Tractor Supply for $1,500. So, somewhere in between the 17 and the 75. I don't know how many chickens they think they're going to be rescuing now that people can have chickens in their backyard. But they have 3 now, and they're very happy in the dog kennels inside. They don't have to worry about the 100-degree heat or the cold. Apparently, the chickens are going to require heat. And according to Bill Lyle, he said, well, they use a red light, and the chickens gather around this red light for heat. So I don't know if they were planning on putting in like AC, full, heating unit for this chicken coop.
Well, I'm also wondering if maybe a lot of that money is also for workers to build the chicken coop. But again, how many workers do you need? It's a chicken coop. How big is this thing going to be?
I have no idea. I think part of the problem is, and what Councilman Riccadelli alluded to, was their over burdensome regulations. So it's by law, if they're going to put out a thing, I guess, a structure outside of the shelter, they have to have a site plan. And then, or do a revised site plan. And then now regulations come in when you have to put in electricity for the heat and everything. No farmer does this, by the way. Okay, this is ridiculous.
Nobody does this.
No sane person does this. $50,000.
You can literally order a chicken coop off Amazon. You can go to Home Depot or Walmart and get a chicken coop that's reasonably sized.
I think the chickens are happy in the kennels. And if they want to, they keep the dog, if they want to have pasture time, they keep the doggies inside and they let the chickens roam around, in the backyard where they have the back part and the dog run. They can have pasture time.
I mean, there's a very
they could give the chickens away and somebody could have a nice chicken dinner.
I mean, look at this. There's this very nice, from Tractor Supply, $749.99, so technically $750. It looks like a little barn.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's got a little barn sign on the top, and then underneath, I guess, is the coop part. Where the grass, the outdoor part where the chickens would have their grass time. That is cute.
Yeah.
And that's only let's see. Here, what did it say?
It was like
$700.
It was like $750.
$750 for a cute little chicken coop.
That could fit 3 just fine.
It could fit more than 3. Could fit 5 probably if they get 2 more. Oh my goodness gracious. only government could
overcomplicate something.
want to spend $50,000 on a chicken coop.
And overcomplicate it with all the ridiculous regulations that apparently they have to adhere to, which I don't know. I've never gotten a chicken coop, but I don't think most people have a problem with regulations that require them to spend exorbitant amounts of money.
No farmer does this.
Even your average some people have like pet chickens and they have like a chicken coop in their backyard.
Yes, people have chicken coops in their backyard right now. I don't think they went and got a site plan for it from planning and zoning.
No.
I mean, this is ludicrous. They're crazy. They need to go. Forget new ordinances. Here's what you have to do, folks. For every new ordinance you pass, you have to get rid of 2. Okay? That's what you have to do. Because clearly, if the city people come to you and say, okay, well, we got to build a chicken coop for the rescued chickens and we're going to need $50,000, you've got a problem. When you can easily go to Home Depot or Tractor Supply or Walmart and get a chicken coop for a few $100s. This is just insanity, all right? Well, if any of what I just said has made you madder than a wet hen, little chicken joke, please march yourself down to Davis Library on August 22nd or August 26th and tell the City Council to take $8.5 million that was supposed to be added to the $43 million Economic Development Fund and instead use $1 million to lower the tax rate by 1 cent. I'm sorry, not $1 million. I wish $1 million. Use $6 million to lower the tax rate by 1 cent. Use $1 million to give a raise to the employees and $1 million to go into the rainy day fund. And that would leave $500,000 that is left and can go into the Economic Development Fund. And if anyone would like to start a fund for a inexpensive chicken coop from Walmart, be my guest. This is Esther.
And this is Ruth.
For Plano's Political Pitbull, signing off.